When you become a witch, the first thing you learn about this natural power of the universe, which is all around us and that we use all the time, every single member of the human race uses it, is that it hurts. You can burn your fingers with it. Therefore, you use it wisely. You use it in a positive sense.
Which manifests in many different ways. It's kind of tuning in. I mean, if you look around at what's here, life's bursting through. It wants to speak to us. If we're seeing life in abundance, it's the summer solstice.
Traditional witchcraft is that which has been hidden in the English countryside and elsewhere abroad for many, many years. And in some ways it does differ from what one has to say is the more modern version, which was promoted by Gerald Gardner and Alex Sanders. Because I think it's undoubted that Gerald did put in many of his own ideas.
You kind of feel very much in touch with yourself, perhaps rational or integrated, and it gives you that, and it again and again. It also gives you the kind of the communal stuff, a sense of belonging with a group of very like-minded people.
Even if you don't necessarily...
The killing of Giordano Bruno. And I said back to the Vatican, the letter, if you had been who you were supposed to represent, you never would have murdered in the name of God. We are the only religion that has never murdered in the name of God. We've never had a holy war, because number one, the only thing that wars do is put holes in the human body. We have never murdered people in the name of God. That is something that the craft has an honor in.
Rule number one of
terrible concept that has come through because witchcraft was taken underground.
Yes.
And when anything becomes secret and goes underground, a mystique is built up about it. And legend is added to it and added to it. And the things that we don't understand or don't even take the trouble to understand are the things we're afraid of.
That's very true. We usually...
Me and many thousands of people along with me intensely that the word witchcraft should be lumped in with Satanism. I mean, it is just a complete generalization, and any academic in the world would throw it out of court completely. A witch cannot be a Satanist. It is an absolute physical and semantic impossibility.
I'm sorry. One of our basic beliefs is, and it harm none, do what you will. And that none includes yourself and includes the psyche of other people.
You know what's... But bound up in the religion of witchcraft, there is also the practice of magic. And magic is a power. It's an abstract power. It's the power of genius and creativity which courses through the universe. It's nothing at all secular. It can be applied by anyone. And magic is the method or the technique whereby you apply that formula. The power is a natural power. It's one that anybody can use. It actually holds you up. Magic is the intensive creative power which gives you thought, gives you reason to be. It's not secular at all. So therefore, the application of it is a question of technique rather than belief. Once you understand that magic does work, you can use it for all facets.
The life-giving force is a form of energy, and all energy can be used for good or bad. Electricity can be used to light a room or to kill. Water can be used to sustain life or to drown. And what man does with the energy is what is really meant by free will.
And we believe if we set our minds on a thing, we're going to get it. You know, Paracelsus said that the beginning of all magical operations is determined imagination. And this is what we set out to do. Get a mental picture of the thing we wish to achieve, and in that way concentrate on getting it.
Their own powers, I think that's very important, because I know a lot of people criticise old Gerald. I've criticised him myself, but I will say this for him, that just about the first thing he ever taught me was that the power is in you, and you have got to learn to bring it out. And all the trappings of the circle, the magical tools and so on, are simply there to enable you to do that, to create the atmosphere. For you to bring out your own power, which is natural, which is latent in everybody. And it isn't some sort of gift which people are given by some supernatural force. It is simply drawing out the natural powers that people have hidden in the depths of their own minds and psyches. I think that's true.
Very high indeed. I mean, obviously, if you talk about candle magic, the most basic kind of thing is birthday cake magic, where you blow all the candles out on your birthday cake and immediately you've performed a magical ceremony. It's very basic magic, but it is also very effective because it works with karma. We do healing spells, for instance, healing rituals.
I maintain that in order to work magic effectively, you have to bring your light and your dark together in order to create that magical spark. That's how sparks are created, positive, negative, together. It won't happen if you're all positive, and it won't happen if you're all negative. You have to have that frisson in the middle.
Well, when I was a child, I always felt much closer to a great life force when I was out of doors, far closer than when I was in the four walls of any church.
Well, and Christianity seems to be offering no better option than sitting back quietly and accepting it and waiting for something better to happen hereafter. It seems a little more positive to hope that you can plumb your own depths and find some meaning and fulfillment while you're actually here, and we like to think that we offer that. After all, if you are
The reason that Christians are frightened of witchcraft is, one, history is always written by the winners, and Christianity won and paganism lost.
Chris Bray, would you allow your son to come to witchcraft?
Well, of course not, no.
Well then, why deny us that facility, that freedom?
We are not.
In reverse.
May I come in there? We're not denying you that facility or that freedom. Every man has a free choice to declare his own destiny and find his own destiny. But Jesus Christ...
Anthony, isn't it stepdaughter? Wasn't he a little bit frightened? Are you frightened of me? We could do rituals for them, couldn't we? Shall we do a little one? Shall we? You know the tree. Would you like to do it with me? Put the music back on, Nicky, just for 1 minute. Alex, why do you involve such a young child? Because she's part of my family. And why should I involve her with the church, if not with my own church?
That we offer that. After all, if you are a born-again Christian and you really do believe that come a nuclear holocaust you'll be swept up in the rapture to heaven, then you really won't be doing that much to stop it. In fact, you'll rather be looking forward to it. I think that sort of a more pagan or occult worldview tends to be a life-supporting and life-enhancing worldview, which is better than the predominantly sort of, which I see as more sort of death-orientated worldviews of the born-again Christians.
Writer?
Yes, I do, but I also feel that truth is persecuted. I feel that there's a lot being said that implies that the church, because it claims to have the word of God, is de facto correct. Does this mean, I mean, for example, I'm not a Christian, I don't uphold Christian principles in terms of Christianity. What I object to is being told that I am wrong simply because Christians believe that they're right.
Witchcraft is in this country.
We see the pagan community being continually infiltrated by what we would call Christian ideals. And I think we're going backwards, not forwards. I think in the 60s and 70s we were free and we were happy, and now we're back uptight.
Practicing more of the ways, the habits of thinking that we see in conventional religions.
There are 3 routes that you probably came here, but this is the truth. If you're black, your traditions were stolen from you through slavery. And if you're Native American, most of your traditions were taken from you through colonialism. And if you're white, most of your traditions were taken from you because your great-great-grandparents or your great-grandparents wanted to assimilate so fast that they basically threw out all the traditions. So the truth is if you're sitting here in the United States of America, no matter who you are, you don't have the songs, you don't have the lullabies, you don't have the creation myths, you don't have the coming-of-age ceremonies, you don't have all the things that, in fact, every indigenous culture has. And what this is all about, what Wicca, paganism, all of this is about, is trying to find, for us, who are bereft, who are searching through the ashes. Essentially, we want a rich, juicy, vibrant, earth-based tradition to give us the sustenance we need at the same time that we want to live in the modern world with integrity. We want to dance around a bonfire at night and have ecstatic traditions and get up the next morning and still be able to be a doctor or a computer programmer or whatever we want. And what we're trying to do with all of these traditions is we are trying to create a modern, vibrant way of having the best that the old indigenous traditions had for all people, and yet have a way of living in the modern world. And that's essentially what this journey is really about.